Hello, everybody. It's Lila Gonzalez here. I am here this evening after a beautiful evening singing kirtan and listening to a lecture from Radhanath Swami, His Holiness Radhanath Swami. And he wrote a book called The Journey Home, and many of us have had journeys home to ourself or are seeking journey home to ourself, really. Mystic yogis, gurus, and epic quest through spiritual India. He basically, amazing Jewish man from Chicago. And years ago, ended up going hitchhiking across Europe and the Middle East and India, and about died a couple times. And this whole amazing adventurous story is wrapped up in the path. It also describes the path of Bhakti Yoga. And Bhakti Yoga is a very, when I read this book the first time, I got this evening, I'm kind of just really touched tonight. So I'm sorry if I'm not super clear on what I'm talking about, but I feel very touched after singing and being around such a spiritual man and having conversation. I'm really excited to share with you. But I got this signed, which is pretty, it's cool. I'm an author, and so getting a book signed by a really world-renowned spiritual leader, His Holiness, I mean, for heaven's sake, is yeah, it's really special. So the book taught me that devotion, spiritual devotion, devotion to self, devotion on connecting with the divine, can be really celebratory. It can be fun. And I was kind of dancing tonight, singing, and we ate good food and heard a lecture. That's what I'm going to talk about today a little bit, is what do you do when your leaders do not display compassion? And why is this topic even important right now? The president. Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you a little bit why I'm going to talk about this. Why I have any sort of like a reason, who I am to even talk about this, because I haven't talked about politics at all on social media or really with people too much. Express my opinion, and part of it is because my life path has been. I care a lot about the world. I just do. And I studied environmental science, and then I realized the people side. If I can make a difference in the people side, maybe the earth would be healthier. And if the earth is healthier, then the people will be happier and everything will be better. So I did environmental science, and then I realized the people, so I went into environmental policy. I went to got my master's, went into consulting, was working on the some policy work, more doing development work, really environmental assessments for development work, and then went back for a PhD. Policy work, basically, I was like, from a big picture standpoint, trying to studying all the problems in the world around the environment, air, water, chemicals, all of that stuff. Studying it all, trying to figure out ways to help, and then going into politics, not politics exactly, but policy, institutional assessments, looking inside, like, what's going on? How can we fix what's going on so that the earth can be happier and healthier, then people can be happier and healthier? This is my sort of mission. And then I realized, oh, that it's the individual level. So there's all levels. We need people on all levels, working at all levels, working in all areas. But for me, where it's taken me, I have this general understanding of what's going on the earth in terms of like the environmental problems, and then the institutional system and the government and all of that. I kind of, not that I know everything, but I have a general understanding of what's going on, and now I've done work with at the individual level with all the yoga and coaching and really diving deep into transformational work, mental transformation, physical transformation, spiritual connection. It's interesting. I'm not at all interested in what's going on in Washington, D.C. I'm not at all interested in it because I find my use in the world. I find even my happiness, my internal peace, it's so much better if I have no idea what's going on. And here's the deal. The cool thing is if you need to know what's going on, you'll know on Facebook. Like people will talk about it. And so, and I also don't have that many friends that show up on my feed at least that post anything really political. I've got a couple, but so I sort of stay in what's going on, but not too many. So it doesn't really phase me. I'm not, and it's crazy because back in like 2000 and or yeah 2001, 2002, 2003. I mean, I was real upset. I was marching in New York City about the Iraq War, and I've been like, writing letters and just kind of upset about what's going on around the world for quite some time. And then I got into yoga, and that's what this lesson is tonight about compassion. It was we were talking about compassion, and or Radha Swami was talking about compassion, and somebody, a couple people afterwards asked about how do you deal with people who are compassionate? How do you deal with leaders who are compassionate? And I love this. He said, imagine a doctor that came in and said, you have a disease. I hate that disease that you have. The doctor doesn't hate you. The doctor just hates the disease. So the president, Donald Trump, 45, whatever you want to call him, you see something that needs to change in him, change something in yourself. He's reflecting just the collective. He's reflecting things that need to be changed in all of us, probably, on some level. And yet, he's just a man. He's just a human. He's just a spirit in a body. And just like all of us are sick in our own ways, we all have challenges that we're dealing with mentally, challenges physically, challenges spiritually, challenges emotionally. And so are our leaders. So the way that we can have compassionate leaders, this is what I think. This is a lesson from a spiritual leader, Yogi Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is a lot. Okay. Yeah. So Bhakti Yoga is a lot about integrating yoga into your life. And so if you want, if you think about it, like a lot of people think like, oh, yoga's great. I know yoga's good. Anytime you say you teach yoga or Ravalda yoga or something, people are always like, oh, I should do that. Even if they don't. And they don't even know why they should, but they think they should. And I don't know if they should or not. Maybe they should. Maybe they shouldn't. But there's one thing to feel good on the mat. There's a whole other thing to take it off the mat, they say, and to integrate it into your life. And part of that is having compassion. And compassion, it's an interesting word, compassion. So I don't want to get into the too much about what compassion means, because I could actually do a whole nother Facebook Live or a video series probably on compassion and the different descriptions and definitions of compassion, and the different spiritual paths even. They have different perspectives on compassion, whether it's good, whether it's bad. And so I'm using compassion right now in the sense of just like more love, more caring, less judgment, seeing somebody as like more of an energetic spiritual being, a divine presence on this planet, just like you. So what do you do when your leaders do not display compassion? You display compassion. You think, what is potentially good about this leader that's not showing compassion? Wow, they're showing me that I really value compassion. You really value compassion, probably. You really value integrity, right? These are concepts of yoga that many people know what it's like to integrate maybe things in their body and their mat, but then integrating their mindset and their food and their shopping experiences and their relationships and their home space, all of that, the whole integration. It's it takes a little bit of time and energy and effort, and it can be hard, and that's what a yogic path or any sort of like conscious path, really just bringing more awareness, whatever it be, whether you do yoga or not or something else, but bringing some more awareness can lead you to this place of like, wow, that person who is really like annoying me or bothering me, or I really like don't understand why they don't have higher integrity, or why are they doing the things they're doing that are affecting, other people, tens of thousands of people potentially. Um, Build compassion from within for yourself, for others, but for yourself too. We didn't talk about that yet. So there's even Radha Swami tonight said, he said, this is the book Journey Home if you're interested. So good, so good, such a good read. It's really entertaining because I think it's like in the 60s, and he's talking about like Jimi Hendrix and like Janis Joplin, and there's some cool, beautiful photos in there. I'll show you. Just some cool photos of like, religious, spiritual men, and then deities, and some beautiful pictures. It's just a really nice book. If you like to read, if you're a reader, it's a highly, highly recommended. So compassion for yourself. That's another piece that I want to add on here before I hop off, because this is the hardest piece, to love yourself. You'll never love anybody more than you'll love yourself. You may feel like you do, but you'll never actually be able to love them fully because you don't love yourself fully. So once you love yourself fully, you can love them more fully. Right? We all know that. We all know that idea. But how are you practicing? Is it hard to love yourself? Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you? I'd cry and say it. Now I catch myself winking at myself. It's so weird. It's true though. So compassion for yourself, less shoulds, just taking sweeter action, not just thinking about things, but taking action. Making practices, saying nice things, cultivating some sort of openness, sweetness, softness, love, being around people who support you. Stop staying at home by yourself all the time. It's not working. Maybe it is. Maybe you need time by yourself. But if it's not working, get with people. Get some guidance. Get a mentor, or get some be around people who are going to support your growth, going to support your deeper growth. Not just like you're going to have a better career. That's important, but you want to have a better career doing what you love, making more money, and connecting with people who support your your higher vision for your family, for your physical health. So compassion for yourself, compassion for your leaders will actually help build up world leaders that are compassionate. That's the way it works. One person can change the world. Martin Luther King did. Mother Teresa did. Oprah Winfrey did. Still is. Donald Trump is. Yeah, one person can change the world. You can change the world. It's like, get in there and do it. Even if it's just like to think nicer thoughts, to be nicer, to be like, wow, to see somebody with angel wings, right? To take a breath, soften, pause, have patience, some sort of virtue that makes you feel better. That's what will help our leaders. They'll see, we lead by example. Be the change that you want to be. That's what I was saying from this, with what Radha Swami today said, is be the change you want to be, or be the change you want to see in the world. Just like Gandhi said, be the change you want to see. That's what it's going to take. And one more thing from the physical side, because I love this jam. If you're getting pissed off a lot at the news, turn it off, because you're traumatizing yourself. Baby trauma is inside your body. It's not good. Stop it. Love yourself more. Do nice things. Take a bath. Be around friends. I love you. Stay compassionate to yourself. Stay compassionate to others. Everything's perfect. You're divine. You're precious. Namaste.